Now, you're probably wondering why I'm here in Houston. And of course, the official reason is to come meet with members of the community, to give an address at Rice. We'll be at the airport tomorrow talking about our new effort to make ourselves more welcoming to people coming from out of town, our new model port of entry program, and then I'll also be talking about hurricane preparedness. But the real reason I'm here, I came to discover, is that pretty much almost my entire staff comes from Houston. And so they all wanted to come back home. Chad Sweet, I'm kidding, that's not really the reason I'm here, but it's a way for me to segue into noting that this is the hometown of Chad Sweet, my chief of staff, Price Rowe, one of my counselors, and Sharik Zafar, who is, I think, going to be honored by you today. And let's give him a round. Sharik is a senior member of our Office for Civil Rights and Civil Liberties, and I've benefited greatly from his advice and wisdom. This office, by the way, is really integral to what we do at the department. Under the leadership of Dan Sutherland, they've really been part of policymaking across the board and involved not only in outreach in the external relations of what we do at DHS, but very much the internal decision-making process. Because we do know that it's important that as we strike the balance in making decisions at Homeland Security, we do so with a recognition of the very great weight we do want to put upon our civil rights and civil liberties. This is one of our great national assets, the sense of inclusiveness, the sense of respect for minority rights, and the sense of the fact that we're all Americans, we're all one country, which I think has served our country well in dealing with some of the ideological challenges of the current period of time. And I think it has made us, frankly, the envy of much of the world in our ability to really make out of many cultures one nation, a nation that preserves the distinctiveness and respect for individual cultures, but recognizes that we are all equal stakeholders in America. Tonight I bring you greetings from another proud Texan. I wonder why there's so many Texans in the administration. Maybe because the president is a Texan. Another proud Texan, Sadiq Humber, who, as you know, was the president's special envoy to the organization of the Islamic Conference. I've had an opportunity to meet with him and learn from his experiences. I know he is traveling around the world, listening as well as representing the country. And although I know he would have liked to have participated tonight, he's doing very important work overseas. I am delighted to be here, though, because I have taken a special interest in making sure that we're reaching out to all of our communities, including and especially the South Asian American community. I first got to know, by the way, this community in New Jersey. That's where I come from. You may know that there's a very vibrant and engaged South Asian community in New Jersey. I had the opportunity to interact with the community when I was United States Attorney. I was able to do so when I was involved in private practice and doing some pro bono work for the state Senate. And it was a great introduction to a community that has done a lot to contribute to the American way of life. By any measure, this community has a lot to be proud of. You've built and grown businesses, you've helped create jobs, you've enriched this state and the entire Southwest in remarkable ways. The story of your success is a familiar one that our country has seen throughout history. The United States has continued to attract the most creative and hard-working people from around the world, people who come here to thrive and prosper, much as you have. I know that right here in this banquet hall, there are marvelous stories that epitomize the American dream. There's likely a family that came here and started with one motel and now owns an entire chain of hotels. A banker who started with a small storefront location and now has branches in many cities. Or an entrepreneur who's turned one gas station into an entire oil distribution enterprise. The South Asian Committee is making its presence felt in the information technology industry, the oil and gas sector, the field of healthcare, and, of course, finance. And the South Asian Chamber of Commerce is an important element of building and promoting your success. But equally impressive are the humanitarian contributions that you've made. At your organization's fall banquet, you honored a gentleman who left a lucrative career to start an organization that gives genuinely needy and disabled adults goods such as furniture for their homes. And then there are the medical clinics of the Ibn Sina Foundation and the Shifa Clinic, which provide low-cost care to ethnic minorities and underserved communities here in Houston and did a tremendous job in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. Let me, by the way, take a moment to depart for a second and just observe in person what a marvelous job this city did in stepping up to the plate and receiving all those who evacuated from Katrina. Under the leadership of the mayor and all of the community leaders, you really took on an enormous, unanticipated burden, and I hope it's enriched Houston in the same way that it has done a tremendous service, not only to the Gulf region, but to the nation. Now, the hallmark of this nation, of course, is the freedom that we have to pursue opportunities and dreams. That's why people come from all over the world. The freedom to use our ingenuity and our creativity to produce the kind of prosperity we're celebrating this evening, and also the freedom to worship as we please, to associate as we please, to travel as we please. But as we stand here in the first decade of the 21st century, it is precisely that freedom and prosperity, along with our security, that has come under threat since actually before September 11th. And as Secretary of Homeland Security, it's my responsibility to lead a federal agency and its dedicated men and women in the unified effort to protect this nation, working, of course, in partnerships with other agencies of the federal government and state and local government as well. And make no mistake, the challenge we face each day is monumental. By way of example, just in terms of protecting our airports of entry, and our land ports of entry, and our seaports of entry. Last year, 414 million people came by air, sea, and land through our ports of entry. Over 90 million by air alone. And we literally had moments to determine who among this vast throng of visitors might be coming in intending to do us harm. Even though it's a small minority of people, we needed to make sure we identified them and stopped them from coming in. And we needed to do this process of identification and screening in a way that did not unduly fringe on liberty and did not impede the ability of innocent travelers to come in and contribute to our national way of life. So this is, in essence, our challenge. We have to pursue a smart but sustainable strategy of homeland security that both protects our country and its character.